I'm Ryan with Wolfsburg Tuning. Today we're going to show you how to install the spin locks to hold down a hardtop in a 986 Porsche Boxster. When installing the spin locks, it's important to identify the right spin lock from the left spin lock and install them in the proper locations. If you install the spin locks reversed, it can create damage to your top. We're going to show you how to identify which spin lock goes where. Always remember as well that right and left is identified from sitting inside the driver's seat. This is going to be the left spin lock. You can see there's a notch here that's going to line up with the notch that's made into the vehicle. And you'll see if you line that notch up, you've got a place to put a bolt on the back side, which is going to line up with the bolt that goes in the vehicle. You'll see if you put it in backwards, you have the notch lined up with the notch in the car, but the recess in the spin lock for the bolt is actually on the side, it's not on the back. So once again, you see our notches lined up, the recess for the bolt is in the rear, where the bolt goes in the vehicle. If you have trouble getting your spin locks to fit in the vehicle, you can place a flat screwdriver in this slot to open that up, or you can tap them gently if they're just barely snug. This spin lock is not sitting tight to the vehicle, so we're just going to take the back of the screwdriver and give it a couple taps. Now it's sitting tight. Now that we've installed the spin locks on both the right and left side, we're going to put the soft top up to get access to the bolts that go in to hold our spin locks in. Now that we've got the soft top up, we're going to put the seats forward to get access to the trim and the side panel here that are going to be removed to give us access to install the screws. After you put your seat forward, lift your carpet, and you'll see there's going to be a fill-up screw here that holds this panel. You're going to remove that next. The next step is to loosen the 8mm hex head bolt holding the top of the trim piece. With the hex head bolt, it's not necessary to remove it all the way, we're just loosening it so we can pull this up. You'll see here, we just loosened the bolt. We didn't remove it. If you look, you'll see that there's a notch where that bolt sits. It's got tabs that are all made to come straight up. If you look in very close to this base here, you'll see straight back is the hole for the spin lock bolt. We have the spin lock bolt with a 5mm hex driver. We're going to install that now. Now that we have the spin lock bolt in place and snug, we're going to tighten it to Porsche's specification, which is 23 Newton meters. Now that we've got the spin lock bolt in, we're going to put our trim panel back in. We're going to slide these locks down. This 8mm hex bolt is going to go in the notch in the roll bar. We're going to tighten this up. You don't want to over tighten it. This isn't a bolt in a motor, remember it's in a trim panel, so it just needs to be snug. After we're done with that, we're going to put our fill-up screw in. We're going to tuck this back in, everything will be good. You want to make sure they're flush. You can see here they're in the recess, they're not protruding. You do not want to lower the top. If this spin lock bolt is not seated properly, it can damage the convertible top mechanisms. If it is protruding, you need to take a few steps back. Maybe you have your spin locks reversed from side to side. Maybe there's something in the threads to where it's not tightening down properly. But whatever you do, if your spin lock bolt is not flush with the housing, you need to make sure you remove it before you put your top down. Okay, we've completed the installation on the left side. We're going to repeat the same process on the right side. The installation is exactly the same.